There's a silver lining to everything in life. It's just a matter of finding that lining. It's cool to be known for polishing and doing all that, but the footprint you can leave behind by being a generous person is way cooler than being a hard worker.
Welcome to the Rural Dispatch, the podcast delivering stories from rural America. I'm your host, Allie Behrens. Headquartered in rural Iowa, I help run a nationwide livestock transportation company, and I'm here to bring you stories from the people who help shape this industry and our rural communities. Whether you're a trucker, livestock producer, or rural entrepreneur, this show is for you. Each week, we explore the realities of rural business life, from the highways to the fields and everything in between. So buckle up and let's dive into today's episode. All right, I want to put this up front just in case some of you don't make it all the way to the end of the episode. Today's guest, J.R. Joy, brings a story that hits a little bit on everything we all need more of. Overcoming hard seasons, polishing your craft, pun intended, staying determined when the odds feel impossible, and finding ways to give back and pay it forward. And one of the coolest things to come out of his journey is the Life Rolls On Truck Show. It's happening June 19th and 20th in Sioux City, Iowa. It's $50 to enter a truck, spectators are free, and every dollar goes to a good cause. And you might even see Smoke and I there recording some live podcasts. So get it on your calendar. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to the podcast. Today's guest is JR. You go by JR,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
What is your
Joy.
real name?
Thomas?
Thomas Joy?
Yeah,
Okay, why JR?
Junior. Been
Oh,
JR my whole life. Yeah, everybody's just called me JR, and that's all I've ever. And I tried going by a few other names as a young kid, and JR just always
JR just stuck.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of how that goes. I feel like that's about me and Smoke. How'd you get that name? It's like, man, I wish I had a good story for you, but nobody has a clue.
Yeah, it just showed up, and there it was.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think we got a cool story ahead for everybody, how evolved into polishing and truck show. There's just a lot ahead of us here.
Yep.
There's a lot coming down the pike. So, how old are you?
35.
35.
Yep.
Give us a little background. Let's go. And high school. You ended high school. Did you go to
Yeah.
school, college?
Nope, I went right to work for my dad and my grandparents running heavy equipment.
Oh, they run an excavating
Yep.
company.
Yeah, so
Yep.
when I was 7, I started running bulldozers. When I was 11, I started running excavator. And when I was 19, I was a foreman for my dad already.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then I just went from there. And then came with the construction background. I partied more than I worked sometimes. Yeah. 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 It went hand in hand, and I got in some trouble through the years, but it put us on a pretty cool journey in life.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So you graduate high school and then just immediately start running heavy equipment.
Yep.
What got you into driving truck then?
We'd always owned trucks, just hauling our own equipment. And back in the 70s and 80s, we had a trucking company up until we started in the dirt world in 82. And I started trucking. Well, I finally got my CDL when I was 24. I finally kept a license long enough to get one. Yeah, they just kept taking it away from me.
This got wild for a few years in there.
Yeah, there was a blurry patch there for a minute. And yeah, I ended up getting my CDL finally. So I drove truck for Dad, hauling equipment around and running the dump truck and stuff. And then actually Sam Senssions wanted me to come run for him through the winter. So I got in a truck for him, and then dirt work had been really, really slow, just going down. And Dad said, well, what do you think about driving truck and going to pull for Andy Getch out of Galva? And, well, sounds better than not doing.
Because is that what you doing when you're
Yeah.
driving for Sam was
Yep.
pulling for Andy?
Yeah, we were doing Getch loads with Sam's truck and
Yep.
trailers. Yep. And so we bought a W900L, and off I went trucking. Yeah, I drove it for like 11 months before I got in my car wreck and broke my neck. So,
Okay. What'd
Yeah.
you haul for Andy? Did he have hoppers at that time,
Yeah.
or was it? Okay.
yep, I just pulled a hopper for him.
So you're just hammered down trucking.
Yeah, just up and down Highway 20.
Okay, yeah, because you're from Northwest Iowa
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah.
That's where
Yep,
you
Cushing.
born and raised.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, the big little town of Cushing.
Yep.
Never left.
So we were trucking, and then one night,
Yeah, one night I was in the shop working on my truck, And I told Dad not to lock the deadbolt on the shop door, and I was going to go home and eat, come back, and finish getting it ready for Monday. And I went home, and I don't remember driving the 3 blocks to my house, and I hadn't even been drinking yet or nothing. But apparently, I texted a bunch of people and asked them if they wanted to go out instead of going back to work, and went to the Correctionville bar, and I got told I drank a bottle of Crown in about an hour and a half. And then they thought I was going home, and I went to Anthon to the Woodbury County Cattlemen's Association, and I drank another bottle of Crown, they said, down there in about 2 hours, and then went to the bar, and they wouldn't serve me. So a bunch of friends went out front to smoke that were taking care of me, and when they went out there, I went out the back door to my car and made it 4 miles down 31 and ramped a field driveway, and car was airborne for 100 feet before it bent a fence post over, and then it tumbled for 120 feet, and it threw me out of the sunroof.
But you're really giving her.
Apparently. I don't remember any of it. I woke up 2 days later in the ICU. A cop was going in. Apparently it was real foggy, real cold, but a cop was going in for shift change, and he just happened to see a light flicker in my car out in the field, and he locked up the brakes and came out there and found me. And if he wouldn't have found me, they said about 10 more minutes I'd have froze to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they fly you to Omaha?
They wanted to fly me to just Sioux City, but it was so foggy that they couldn't. So they just threw me in an ambulance and transported me up there. And I mean, I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember any of it, but reading the police report, apparently I failed a breathalyzer, which, it's probably not going to go well when your head's not really attached anymore. Yeah, failed that. They took my blood, though, and I passed that one. Yeah, real drunk. But we survived.
I mean, you're lucky.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't take things for granted. And, you didn't realize how many things on a daily basis you take for granted until you turn into a 25-year-old infant again. Because not only did I break my neck and back, I almost ripped my left arm off. So I was in a shoulder sling. I was in a neck brace. I couldn't move anything but my right arm. At the height of all of trying to come home from Madonna in Omaha, my mom came home to finish getting the house ready, and I was so weak it took me about 5 minutes to open a bottle of pop. I couldn't hold a bottle tight enough to get the cap off. It was pretty humbling that I went from being a pretty strong, big guy to you can't even open a bottle of pop on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty fragile.
So when you got in your accident, did you live by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So was Sioux City where you were until you went to in the hospital until you went to Madonna?
Yeah, I was in Mercy for almost 2 weeks, and then transferred down to probably a little over 2 weeks. Then I transferred to Madonna in Lincoln, Nebraska for 53 days.
Okay, for rehab. I mean, that's where they do a lot of rehab in a lot of different instances.
So many different things. Yeah, it's that hospitals like that, you never really understand what they're capable of until you're there or someone you know is there, and then it's pretty crazy. And just hearing some of the stories and seeing people and some of the recoveries that happened, and just it's a pretty crazy place.
All right, what was your attitude like?
Attitude was good. It didn't really bother me to be paralyzed, like in the hospital and stuff. That didn't bother me. They had a lot of nicotine patches on me because I was a heavy smoker and I chewed. And I went when I would do a normal day of trucking or doing anything, I'd smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day and then have a can of chew.
Mm-hmm.
And if I went drinking, you as well add 2 more packs of cigarettes to that equation.
Yep.
So I was on that. And then when I got home is when I started. I didn't ever talk about it, but I was in a pretty deep, dark place. You just looked at everything you couldn't do in life anymore. I couldn't ride my 4-wheeler. I couldn't get in my pickup and go drive around. I couldn't go. The worst was going to the shop and seeing my truck sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hard one.
When you moved home, did you move home with your parents then?
I moved in with my mom.
Yeah.
She moved back from up by Des Moines and just essentially took care of me and took me to appointments. And even when I was home, I think I spent 9 months in rehab trying to get my shoulder to do anything again. But in the accident, with how bad it was, like it killed all the nerves in the deltoid. So there's actually bone spurs that hold my socket and joint. So Yeah, it's a painful thing, but it could be worse, I guess. I can still use it.
It took a long time to recover.
Oh, yeah. I told her, I didn't really have any plan in life. I don't even remember when I started trying to be in a manual wheelchair because I started the beginning of it in a power chair because I could only use one arm.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I got in a manual chair and I went down the ramp at my mom's house that she had put on, and I almost hit the tree at the front because I didn't know how much force it took to stop a chair.
Oh, yeah.
And then I spun around and I couldn't get back in the house. I didn't have enough strength in my body to roll myself up the ramp. So the recovery, I mean, like I said, it was probably a couple years before I was comfortable-ish. And then you're still always adapting and trying to figure it out from here on out, but it gets a little easier. It's just every day is still a battle.
I'm sure at the beginning it was like you don't even think about the things that how much strength it takes to roll around a wheelchair, things that just it never occurs to anybody until you're in that situation.
Yep, rolling around and doing the transfers and getting your, just all of that, how much physical strength it takes to use your arms for your legs now.
Yeah.
And they're half the size. Yeah, it takes a lot. It's a lot of adapting.
Yeah.
A lot of willpower. It's easy to give up.
Did you do anything after you came home, you said you had 9 months that you were in rehab. I mean, did you do an office job or help anybody?
No, that's actually how I got started polishing. When I first came home, Andy Getch told me whenever I was ready to go to work, there'd always be a job for me. So I was getting my license and everything like that squared away because in my accident, I collected a third OWI. So I lost my license fully for 6 years and all of that jazz. And so I was working at a work permit so I could travel back and forth to Galva and be in Andy's office. And, yeah, I thought about it. I couldn't even get there and I was mentally hating it. I'm just not an office guy. I've been a mechanic and a dirt worker and help farmers. And I'm like, I don't want to sit behind a computer screen. Like, I'm not going to be good at that. I'm going to get mad at people for telling me they can't do something when I know you can do it. And I'm like, well, if I can't get to the office, we're pretty well bankrupt on this idea. So I seen a post on either Instagram or Facebook somewhere on there of another guy in a wheelchair. Sanford Cohen is his name. He was polishing a fuel tank off truck. And I was like, well, hell, if he can do it, I can do it. And I had my mom haul me to Midwest Wheel and I bought some shit.
Had you polished?
Nope. I got drunk with some Zephyr 40 and polished my wheels on my truck once. Yeah. Other than that, I'd never polished before. No.
Seriously.
I didn't know aluminum could be that shiny. I didn't know anything about the process. I just went and bought some compound and some wheels and some Renegade polish, and Brian Sheaver let me polish the wheels on his Kenworth, and then I got them done. I mean, realistically, probably a week to do 6 wheels and 8 wheels, and then I went to...
But how? How did you sit in a chair and polish the wheels?
It a lot of brakes. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't run a DeWalt buffer. I was running Chicago Electric. I think they are from Harbor Freight. Really cheap little crappy ones. But they were light and I could manipulate them. And I bought a DeWalt buffer, my first one, and it was too heavy for me to run. And it only weighs 7-8 pounds, but it would tip me over. I didn't have enough strength in my body to manhandle it. And
would you just at this point just sit in your chair and
lean over
yeah,
and do them on truck and then have somebody move the truck for me? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they didn't turn out great. Yeah, it was the first, the 8 wheels on Brian's truck turned out shiny. They'd been done on a wheel machine when Brian redid his truck. And then I went to the pot and I hit the first one and the outside lip shined and the middle of it turned black. Wow, I didn't know what I did. So I went to the next wheel. All 3 of them on the passenger side of his trailer just turned black. So he's like, how's it going today? And I'm like, well, made your wheels a lot worse. I'm like, I don't know what I did. So then I learned about sanding. I asked a couple of guys I'd met. I think Sanford was one of them. And then I think Ryan Ewing.
Did you did you reach out to him on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you've seen it?
Yeah.
And really essentially get inspired from him. And he helped lead you in the right.
Yep. Yeah. He gave me some little bit of tips and tricks that he had, in his sleeves on how to polish from a chair. And I just took it. And then I learned about sanding very quickly. So I hand sanded all 6 pots, 3 different grits on Brian's trailer to smooth them out enough to make them shiny. I bet it took me 2 weeks at $15 a wheel to do that. And I would get a section done. Brian have to go haul cattle, so he'd look like a pinwheel going down the highway. Luckily, he didn't give a shit because it had to look terrible. And he'd park it back by his shop, and I'd come back the next day and start another spot. And I just kept playing. Then I learned about tools and buying different things, and I just started. I kept at it for a while, and then I got pretty discouraged in the journey. I couldn't figure out fuel tanks. Probably would have been late 2018, early 19, and I was probably on the verge of giving up polishing. I couldn't get it lay right. I couldn't do nothing.
How far into it at that point were you?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What year was your accident? What year did you start?
My wreck was January of 2016, and I started polishing in like June or July. I can't remember which month of 2018.
Okay.
Yep. So just a shade over 2 years into everything. Like, because they'd sent me to the Mayo Clinic for my shoulder, and they gave me the clear. Like, they didn't know like that the nerves were dead and everything until they did a test on it, and then the doctor up there said the only good news is you can't make your shoulder any worse.
Oh.
Well, that's not fucking good news at all.
That's the good news, huh?
That was the worst trophy I've ever heard. So I guess I took it and ran. I was like, well, we're going to see if he's true,
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't. I made it worse. But so then I started, playing with the polish. And then, and like I said, in like 19, I found King of Bling. I'd ask a few other people online, and I never really got any solid answers on how to fix what I was seeing or doing. And I met King of Bling from Canada on Instagram, and I shot him a message, and he said, send me a picture of what's going on. And I sent him a picture, and he told me what to do. And I watched it change as I did whatever he told me at that time. And it fueled it in me that I could push it. I could figure this out. And I stuck with it. And here we are, and 8 years into the career, and done some pretty wild things now with polishing. But
was it hard to get people to help lead you in the right direction?
I wouldn't ever ask people. I'd spend months before I'd ever ask anything. I didn't want to be that guy that every little speed bump I picked my phone up. I want the self-gratitude. I want to know that I did it. And he was the first one that gave me an actual answer on how to change what I was doing. And ever since then, I've always held him very high in my books, because without him, I don't know that I would have kept doing it. I thanked him when I finally got to meet him in Louisville this year first.
Oh, is that where you met him? Okay.
He didn't remember that story. He didn't remember that's how we had crossed paths and everything. And I know we were going to look at the other polished cattle pot that was inside at the Wilson booth, and we were talking about it as we went up to it. And it was pretty full circle moment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You've done some wild things since then.
Yeah. Yeah, to say that I don't know how to say no. I just I'm like, well, if you think you can be polished, we'll figure it out, I guess. Yeah, building tools. And luckily, doing dirt work and working and being raised with and working for my dad, I was taught to think outside of the box on how to get a job done without all the help you need. Like, if you had a 3-guy job, it was usually just you. So if you fucked up, you had to figure out how to get yourself out of that. And
it's one of them. We'll just figure it out.
Yeah. And
so
I never thought it would be so, necessary in life to put my life back together. But with him raising me how he did, it helped me in the shop and in just life in general. Because if I envision a tool or how to make something easier, luckily me and him can build it. And I don't accept defeat. We'll build this and it should do the trick.
So now, do you keep them on the truck or you take them off?
Wheels?
Yeah.
Every wheel comes off.
Every wheel comes off.
Yeah, I won't do a wheel on a truck. You can't get in around the lug nuts.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if it's got top hats, you can't get in the back wall, can't be sick. Because I won't polish something unless I sand it. Everything gets sanded. And if I can't sand it, then I'm not polishing.
So are you capable of taking them off yourself?
Yeah, I've taught myself how to I bought a 1-inch Milwaukee. I've taught myself how to run it, how to run the dolly. The only ones I can get them back on. I just can't get steers back on. I seem to always tip them fuckers over.
Okay.
I got to redo my wheel. But yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I've tried.
Well, that's not worth
times.
it.
Like, like I've done a few, and I'm like, well, we're gonna fix that one again. But I can get drives on and on. 11Rs or 11R 24.5s get to be a bit of a struggle.
Well, that's a big tire.
Yeah, and I was always trying to just push myself, and I'd like knock pusher wheels over and stuff, and see if I could curl them up with one arm and get them back upright, and my shoulders aren't happy when I do dumb stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I push the envelope, but you don't know if you can do it until you try. And if I fail, I usually figure out a way to get around it. I'll make it happen.
So, like, I guess one day when I was up there, you got the stand that the tire goes on. Like, is that something you and your dad built?
Yep, that's my second generation wheel stand that I've built. The first one was a variable speed motor, which worked great, but it didn't have the torque I needed. I could stop it super easily. So then I bought a gear drive motor and figured out my sprocket ratios that I needed so it would spin the right RPMs for me. So my sanding is always the same.
Oh.
Yeah. Sanding, your prep work is everything in polishing. So I needed my sanding to be the right speed so your gap between your sanding marks are close together. And yeah, it took a little bit of work to get that all figured out and manipulated, but yeah, it's a pretty neat system. And then my next machine I'm going to build this spring, I'm going to have a jib crane on it, so it's all self-contained, so I can pick the wheel. I don't have to be under the A-frame chain hoist. It'll all, wherever I want to put my wheel stand, I can, if I want to take it to truck shows and do wheels in the parking lot, I'll have an electric jib crane on it, and I can pick the wheel up and do it all myself. And I just think just ways to be better and quicker and more efficient and just how to change things and make it cooler and better.
Have you kept track of how many trucks you've polished in the years?
No.
It's a pile.
Yeah. I've done trucks from Texas to Massachusetts I got some from out west coming into me this year. I'm starting to got some customers in Nebraska now that are bringing trucks and pots into me. And it's pretty wild to be where I'm at just without even, I don't advertise. I don't do anything of that. And I don't have billboards or nothing. This stuff rolls out the shop and that's my advertising.
When you started, did your dad have a shop for excavating?
Yeah.
And you just
Yep.
roll them into his shop?
Yep.
So you were fortunate enough to have a shop.
I would take just the wheels off and put them in the shop. Because when I first started working in there, you could barely get a truck in it. They had her packed clear full of just trinkets and keepsakes and no light. You had to use a flashlight in the corners to see anything in the shop. It was dull and dingy. And so I just started updating stuff. And then I've essentially just kind of taken it over since.
When did you decide to make it a business? At what point did you get to the point where you're like, I'm actually pretty good at this and I can...
2022, I made it a legit business.
Okay.
Where I knew I could, because I was still on my disability and working for people buying me supplies and just maybe a little cash just to see if I could make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And in 22, I was like, I got enough people after me. So I made it a legit business. And in 23, I started kind of hunting for employees, trying to just build it. The demand was never ending, but yeah, trying to find employees is a whole new level.
You got anybody working
That's
for
a
you now?
headache.
Yeah, I got 2 guys.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I got Jason. He's been with me for, July 4th will be 2 years. And then Darian just started. He's been there about a month now. Yeah, they're both doing
How do
great.
you teach somebody this art?
Just patience. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta stay patient. Because I tell anybody who's ever called me, I tell, don't be afraid to tell me you don't want the job, because this isn't for everybody. Not everybody can just jump in and do this. And there's not a job that you can say you've done that's going to impress me to put on your resume, so to speak, because nothing prepares you for polishing. It's a whole new ball of worms on its own. But yeah, a lot of it is I got junk fuel tanks and stuff sitting around so I can have them come in and just practice. I'll pay them for some training, and I just teach them the techniques that I've taught myself to manipulate the metal. I actually got asked this year after we went to Louisville. Well, I guess it was last year now. I went out to Idaho and worked with Express Pressure Wash.
Oh, you
out
did?
there for a week.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, they had me come out there, and I might be going back for a few weeks this year. Yeah, to train their guys and work with them.
What'd you do? Just pack everything up and head out there?
Yeah, drove on out, and I packed all my normal tools, my shop chair, and off we went. Yeah, worked out there for 5 days with them, and
well, it's always just been two of you, so you're probably not quite acquainted with three people in the shop yet. But if you do a truck from top to bottom, the two of you, is that a day or 2 day process? 2 day process.
I usually I schedule people for 2 days unless it's got a herd, and if it's got a herd, then I have a whole day in the herd. I'll have 10 to 15 hours per bumper to do them how I do them.
Okay.
I instantly grab 80 grit sandpaper usually and just start sanding.
How'd you get hooked up with Express Pressure Wash?
They came up. So the biggest, wildest job I've been asked to do to date was Andy Getch's 2025 slat-sided cattle pot that we polished inside and out for Louisville.
Right. So, he ordered that trailer brand new.
Yep.
And did he essentially just brought it straight to you and start polishing it?
It went to Vander Swags and got measured for lights because he ordered it bare minimum lights on the outside so they could put their glass lens wherever they wanted. Tyler measured it for all the stainless, pulled all the gates out of the inside that were going to get painted instead of polished. And then it came down to me and Jason, my hired man, and Gavin Disney with Disney Polishing spent 6 weeks polishing that trailer. We had about 1,600 hours in it.
Did you try and fit other jobs in between?
Nope.
No.
It was just straight 6 weeks on that pod. We were hoping for 3 to 4. And once I got started, because they got started on the inside and I started figuring my rhythm out on the outside so I could teach them what I needed them to do up top where I could no longer reach it. We weren't hitting 3 to 4 weeks. Like this is the way I sanded. The entire outside of the trailer got sanded.
Okay, I was going to ask. You sand it, even though it's brand new, you still sand it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We sanded. There's 3,000 sheets of sandpaper approximately in the outside of that trailer. Yeah, it was
unreal.
It was a task.
How did they get it down there?
We hauled it. We pulled her down there. Elton Weck from Yankton, South Dakota hooked onto it and pulled it down there for us.
Okay.
And actually, we almost lost the trailer on the way to Louisville. Yeah, we almost, if Elton wouldn't have put it in the median, he would have killed me and Gavin. Just came around a corner, and we were taking a roller video of like Elton with the trailer and Elton's truck that he was putting in the truck show too. And
okay.
I looked over and I asked Gavin if he got it, and I looked back over, and as you seen the line of cars, all the brake lights lit up, and we went from 90 to 0 in about 100 feet.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was a very spooky time. It like Andy took the shoulder, so Andy had his Lone Star with the cab over on the low boy, and he took the shoulder. But when I looked over, I thought he was maybe going to try and take an off ramp.
Oh, yeah.
And there was nobody on the shoulder, so he just blew down it and got stopped comfortably. And then I looked over, and Elton was sideways in the road behind us. And I went to go left and go, because I didn't think I was stopping before the cars in front of me. So I went to go left and take that shoulder, and I looked in my mirror, and Elton's front bumper was on my back bumper. Like, I don't think you'd have put a piece of paper between us.
Ugh.
So I cut it back to the right and just started pulsing my brake. I don't remember looking ahead again once. I don't know how, honestly, I didn't hit someone, but I just started pulsing, and I just watched Elton's truck go down in the median, and the hood, a Peterbilt hood was just flopping, and I knew that trailer was laying over. Like, I'm like, there's no, like, everything we just worked for is done 30 miles from Louisville. We were almost there. And Elton, it went down in the median and it hit the bank, and then the mud sucked him back down in the bottom, and it parked straight as an arrow in the bottom of that ditch. And bent. His front bumper was all the only damage.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, that was lucky.
Mm-hmm. But If he wouldn't have hit the median, he would have killed me and Gavin. There was nowhere to go. Yeah. And then as you find out, that's apparently the deadliest stretch of highway in the United States. Like, oh, well, yeah.
Well, that would have been good to know.
Yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, they should put signs up and warn some people because that was dumb. But then all the tow truck drivers are fucking taking pictures of this show truck and polished cattle pot in the fucking media.
Well, yeah.
Other people going to the show are going by. So then everybody's phone's blowing up because people knew about it almost before we knew about it. And we were in,
Mm-hmm.
And then we were trying to beat a rainstorm down there. And we were parking our truck or parking the trailer in a shop at First Class Services is the name of the place down there. And it just so happened to be that they were putting us in the washout, and they let us come in and wash all the mud out from under that trailer. And they bent Elton's bumper back out. If it wouldn't have dimpled it on a blind mount bolt, they pushed that bumper out so perfectly straight. Like their name literally says it, like First Class Services. And it was above and beyond anything we could ever hope for. If you look at like the Mid-America Truck Show posts, their truck's always out front. And that trailer that is behind it is a 91 pneumatic trailer, and it won Louisville in 91. Like, and they still display it. It's a cool truck, very cool company. We got to meet the owner and everything and thanked him for obviously taking care of us bigger than anybody could have hoped for.
What do you think came through in Andy's mind? He's like, I want my entire truck and trailer, or the entire trailer inside and out.
Well, I think like the inside was a joke initially, I think. Like Gavin Disney said, if we're doing it, we just will polish the inside, and he didn't think it would manifest. I didn't know we were doing the inside until it was at my shop, and Gavin called me. And he's like, hey, you talked to Andy at all? I'm like, just briefly. I'm like, it was cold as shit, and he took off. He's like, did he tell you we're doing the inside? I'm like, nope. He's like, oh, we are? I'm like, cool. I'm like, you never look at a pot. The only thing you look is where not to put your fingers, not from a polishing perspective. There's a lot of nooks and crannies and just shit that is in your road for polishing. And because when we got it ready for the national championship at Atlanta in November, I actually put myself in the trailer. I got a motorcycle lift that we widened so I can polish grill surrounds and herds. So I put my lift over alongside the trailer and then put my shop chair inside of it. And then I'd roll up on it with my power chair and lift myself up and then transfer through the door. And then I'd roll around in the trailer and I could do half the belly. And then I did all of the floor in the belly. And which rolling over the your cleats and everything. That was worse than polishing. That first day I was beat just trying to roll around a trailer. I'm like, I thought I was pretty decent shape. The cattle pot kicked the shit out of me. But you start going around in there and just all the gates and trying to get them blended out to where you can't see your stop start from the outside. And the inside was a whole new battle. When we first did it, I bought 20 or 30 heavy cut buff wheels thinking that would damn near do the whole trailer. And they had 14 done and we hadn't got the whole inside done yet. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, well, we ain't getting anywhere with the amount of buff wheels we thought we was going to burn. There's over 100 wheels in that trailer for buffing it. It took a lot more than we were all ready for.
And 1,600 hours.
Just the first time. Me and Jason spent 2 weeks getting it ready for Atlanta after it was already polished. We repolished the whole trailer. And then I got some things up my sleeve for next year for Louisville that I'm gonna get with some companies and get some stuff engineered so I can really go radical on it. I plan on probably acid washing the whole trailer and starting fresh.
You think Andy will do another one?
No, he'll do that same trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna redo it though. I already told him that next year we're gonna make an even bigger statement.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hey, Smoke, how come you didn't have him polish our old flat side for the wedding?
I don't know.
Inside and out.
Yeah.
Well, because there's a big hole in the bottom of it. He wouldn't be able to roll around in there.
I get stuck. I'd still be in it. Yeah, we'd be doing the podcast out there.
Yeah.
JR's just there.
Oh, man.
It's a chore, but it put my name on the map. A lot of people, just...
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, because you won the show,
we won
right?
Louisville. Yeah, we won the No Mile. And it's Louisville's never been won by a cab over or a cattle pot.
Really?
And we did it. Yeah.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yep. I'd heard people saying that it wouldn't happen. Like
Mhm.
it was cool, but it wouldn't win. And we brought the belt home and the trophy. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
When did you start a truck show? What triggered your mind that you wanted to do a truck show? Because you started Cushing.
Yeah, I started just bobtail only event one day, and the whole premise behind starting the Life Rolls On, a show for the kids, was when I got hurt, so many people helped me, and I felt like my hand was out, and it bothered. I didn't like it. I've never been one to ask for help. I'll figure things out on my own. But if people wouldn't have helped me, I honestly probably would have been bankrupt. So I wanted to pay all those people back, and I knew I couldn't pay them back individually. So I started the show in 21. So I spent 5 years trying to figure out how to pay it forward. And then, Life Rolls On started. And the first 3 years we were in Cushing, like I said, just a bobtail, just a Saturday. And then back to Andy, he built his first cab over, his Transtar 2, and he got the show bug. And I told him my dream was the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. I said, I just don't know how to make it happen. I don't have the capital to do it, to put the down payment and everything like that to rent the facility. And he said, I think you can do it. He's like, let me know what the deposit is. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we're moving to the Tyson Vet Center. And from there, it's just continually grown. And in the last 5 years, we've donated $65,000 to the Madonna Foundation. So last year's alone was $30,000. That was in 4 years.
So
we
it
did
really jumped.
35, to $30,000 in 1 year donation.
What year did you move to Sioux City?
24 was the
24.
first year at the Tyson.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it turned into a 2-day show, getting trucks from all around the country now, Canada, and I mean everywhere. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, we had a Canadian truck join us this year, and I think so. Sean, King of Bling, him and his family came down last year to the show. He's a judge in it for me, and he's coming back, and I think he's bringing some more trucks with him again this year. And yeah, I've met the Skillex company from up in Canada. I know this year they aren't able to make it, but I'm hoping next year to get them with us and just keep piecing this thing together.
How busy do you get polishing before the show?
Busy. I always say I'm going to not polish the week of the show, and it hasn't worked yet. So, but that's the goal, is to take that whole week and just show prep, because every time I start working, the phone rings and I got questions to answer. And
how many trucks showed up in 25?
25, we were down to 50 trucks, but it was 50. The number dropped, but the quality went through the roof. I mean, like Kenny Ziegler was scraping by his beautiful red truck. Chad Ellison was there with his blue and silver truck. Andy's truck and trailer was there, obviously. TJ Kunkel's there every year with all of his fleet. I mean, the quality of trucks we had was just through the roof. And I was a little sad with the 50, excuse me, but the amount of money we were able to donate trumped any feeling you could have. I mean, it was to be able to have that big a year on a donation and keep enough money in the account, because I run it. It's a business. I mean, if you donate or sponsor the show, there's QuickBooks. You get an invoice right off QuickBooks. It's all 501c3 deductible. I mean, it's a full-time job to run the show, but it's the most rewarding thing there is to be known for.
How many sponsors do you have?
Last year we had 50, I think 6 sponsors.
Okay.
This year there's a few dropping off, but trucking, as you guys I'm sure are aware, the year before I told her, I'm like, well, trucking can't get much worse. And then 25 happened. I'm like, uh-oh, like it did. Like, I don't know how that happened, but it's.
And now here we are today.
Yeah. This year, like I said, for sponsors, it's tougher. It's tough getting like vendors is where I'm struggling. Like, I want bigger name companies to want to set up with me and display their products and do stuff. But I'm just a guy, I don't have a big name backing me. I'm trying to get there. I want them to trust me. That's the biggest thing, is the trust factor. And, it just take it one day at a time. And I started with zero knowledge about it. I'd been to 3 truck shows, I think, when I started mine. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do this. And luckily, I just kept finding the right people to answer. Like, and sometimes I would meet someone and I wouldn't even ask the question. I had the question in my head. I just didn't know who to ask or how to ask. And they would start talking about a topic that I needed answers to. And I'm like, like all the avenues just kept lining up for me and still do. It's pretty cool how it's all continually unfolding for me.
What types of vendors do you have there? Like,
I'll take any event, honestly. Like, because anything, it doesn't have to be strictly truck related to me. Because not every spouse or wife or anybody's gonna want to go look at truck parts all day long.
right.
So crafts, vendor,
That's me.
everything. Yeah, like I don't care if they want to set up with us. Cool. Like,
Okay.
put you in
That's
spot.
actually
Yeah.
a really good.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Like,
point.
it does not have to be trucking related.
No,
Food,
everything.
food trucks, anything
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
Food trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all a variety of food trucks all day long. Thursday will be this year. Like I said, we're starting a Friday, Saturday show this year just to see if it worked. Because I didn't realize I was probably one of 2 or 3 shows in the country that was a Saturday, Sunday. And I never thought about the drivers trying to reset to get on the road for Monday. And I'm like, well, if they can take a Friday off and then they can reset on Sunday and get back on the road, it's a little easier for them.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, you don't know until you try it. So, Thursday's pre-set up. We'll pack everybody in the Tyson Event Center and trucks start rolling in and getting prepped and wiped down. Going to have a few food trucks set up with us during Thursday so that way everybody can eat. And then, Friday's show day, and Saturday we do trophies and stuff like that. And
Okay.
Lifetime Lug Nut Covers builds our trophies, which unfortunately with Junior passing away this year, Junior Schluger passed away from cancer.
Oh, I seen that.
Yep. He was a phenomenal guy. Him and Nikki, his secretary and the lady that runs like his whole business over there, designed my trophy last year and just absolutely blew. Like I had zero. I sent him a piece of stainless, was what my trophies always were. It was a freestanding diamond piece of stainless with stickers on it. Simple, but it did the trick. And she asked me, she's like, are you open to anything else? And I'm like, well, if there's a company I trust to deliver, I sent it to you guys for a reason. And she sent me back this, it turned into a wheel with life rolls on it, cut out of acrylic and different layers. So there's different colors to it with a gel sticker in the center and tells you your place and everything like that. And then sponsored by, last year they were sponsored by Lifetime and my dad. And the trophy was, I had zero intentions of it being that cool. And I was hunting for a trophy sponsor for this year's show. And then now that Junior passed away, I'm actually paying for him personally. And then I'm going to put in memory of J.R. Schluger with his actual signature on him,
Okay.
just to pay a little tribute to that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
That's awesome.
pretty cool. He was his envisionment for how he could build things and what he could do was unique.
Through your whole journey of being in your accident and helping you through rehab, and like, who are the people that stick out the most in your mind that you owe the most to? Like your mom for, moving back in with you, I'm assuming. And obviously Andy. Andy's
Oh yeah, he's everywhere.
done everything for you.
Yeah, Andy, he fueled the fire to go back to work and to get the truck show rolling and being bigger. And he continuously, anything a person could ever need, if it was in his means, he would make sure he could do it for you. My dad, for everything he's done, the shop, if I think up some new thing I need fucking built,
He's
fire the welder up. Yeah. Kevin Fedderson, he, one of my best friends, has helped me tremendously through all the years. He's the one that did the initial fundraising for me on a Facebook page that we're a part of, that raised all the money to keep me afloat in the beginning. And all of those people are the ones that fueled me to start Life Rolls On. So, the list of thank yous is endless, but the big ones is Alex Rabbis, my best friend, best friend of my whole life. I don't have a memory in life without that kid beside me. So yeah, my siblings and just everybody, like even before my wreck, like everybody tolerating my dumbass for being so drunk. Like nobody should have still been around. Yeah, they all pretty well told me I needed to quit, or something in life was gonna make me quit. And well, yeah, they weren't wrong.
Here we are.
Yeah, I quit drinking, but I took the wrong long path to get there. But
Yep.
yeah, it's been a rewarding journey, just helping people and telling my story about all the drinking that I did through the years. And I'll go speak at schools and try to help kids see the dangers of it. Because when I did all my drinking and driving classes, you got to watch these dumbass videos and you can tell they're scripted. Somebody's just sitting there reading.
Yep.
And I'm sitting in front of people telling my story because I drank everything under the sun for about 10 years. I literally watched everything in my life disappear one piece at a time, clear down to my new cowboy boots that I couldn't put on anymore after my accident. So I could sit there and hopefully have an impact on at least a couple of kids or even faculty. You never know what people are going through that they're not talking about. So I try to go share my story wherever I can and try to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody thinks it's never going to happen to them.
Oh yeah,
That
we're all
couldn't be
invincible.
me.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
Yep.
All the things. And
Yep.
sometimes all it takes is somebody to tell their story to essentially put a mirror up and say, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's vaguely similar to what I'm dealing with right now, or it's or they could see the signs when you're telling your story, like, oh shit, like I better back off, or I could be that, or my situation could have been so much worse if somebody would have been with me. I'd have killed them if I'd have hit somebody or rolled my car through somebody's house. I mean, I could be sitting in prison, and I'm thankful that I was alone. My injuries were the only thing that happened.
That's a good point. Just when you think you're like, could it get any worse?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I could have killed somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
yeah.
I could have had a passenger and
Yep.
say, yes.
Yeah, the passenger side of my car was below the windowsill. Like there was no way somebody was going to sit there. But there's a silver lining to everything in life. It's just a matter of finding that lining, because it's always worse somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to check out the Life Rolls On or register,
It's in June, so that people have got time.
Yep. June 19th and 20th. All the information's on liferollsontruckshow.com. It's super interactive. I mean, you can register as a vendor, register your truck, register as a sponsor. You can just straight donate through PayPal on there if you want. All my contact information's there. Check out pictures of the show.
And it's free for spectators.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Just
Free
show
to the
up, walk
public.
through, and
Yep. Merchandise
check it
should
out.
be available here soon. I got 2 different shirts every year. People's Choice, and then I have artwork drawn up for each truck that wins. People's Choice gets their own shirt, and then after Dustin Pope took his life, I put Best Polish in memory of Pope in there, and then it's got his actual logo on it, so that way his logo floats around the trucking world with all of us. So yeah, those are there, and there'll be hats, and just anything I can think of that people might want to buy. I try to try something new every year and see if it works.
well, you got to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Well, it'd be cool to keep getting more vendors. How many vendors do you think you roughly?
Last year, I think we had like 10 vendors in there. It
Okay,
was
that's
nothing
still
wild.
a good amount.
Yeah, we had like Frosty Frog Customs. They come out of Texas and they build the fridges that look like the front of semis. They came up and set up with us.
Cool.
They're going to come back again this year. Graybill Chrome Shop came. I'm just trying to, get some of them cooler, smaller companies that need a foothold. Like those guys, they just came and I didn't charge them vendor space. I'm like, just the fact that they're there with these fridges, I'm like, it's so cool in its own to see it more so in person than a video. You can appreciate how much work this man puts into everything.
Yeah.
And actually, I think for the auction this year, he'll build a mailbox that looks just like your truck.
Oh.
So I think that'll be on the auction.
Okay.
You can bid on getting your truck built as a replica for a mailbox.
That'll be cool.
Yep. Yeah, vendors, like I said, that's where and I'm trying to get some older trucks in there again, give people some stuff to look at. And it's just keep building that. That's what I want to. It's cool to be known for polishing and doing all that, but the footprint you can leave behind by being a generous person is way cooler than being a hard worker.
Yeah.
So having the Life Rolls On and being known for that's what I want to push more so than para polishing.
I love that. I was going to ask, what do you want to be known for? I mean, when you do leave this earth, what do you want people to remember about you? And
Yeah, just being genuine. I don't sugarcoat shit. If you're dumb, and I'm going to tell you. And if you're a good person, let's build something together. I'll help out anybody I can. But yeah, I want to be known for, life rolls on. That's a footprint and a legacy you can leave behind and hang your hat on.
absolutely.
I think that's awesome. Okay, well, this is maybe give me a good reason to repaint the frame on my teal truck. Yeah.
The white and teal one out here.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever. When I pulled in, I'm like, shit. Like
Yeah.
I've never.
Yep.
I can't.
So
say I've
that's
ever
kind of
seen
my
it.
pride and joy. I mean, it's gone through a few drivers too, but I ordered that truck for myself, knowing that was going to be the last. Like at that point, I was starting to dispatch more. We were growing more trucks.
Yep.
And when I ordered that truck, I ordered it knowing like this is going to be the last new truck I'll ever
Sit in.
get for myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. What year
So-
is it then?
18.
Okay.
Yep. I got it in July of 17.
Nice.
And I ordered it with a one-piece windshield. That was before like one-piece windshields were in like the 567s and stuff,
Yeah, I
but
was
they
gonna say,
they were never in a 389.
I've never seen one.
And I mean, I asked them and they said they're able to do it. And I don't know. I had never seen one before. Because I sat in an aerodynamic truck and I was like, man, just you can see so much.
Yeah, but I don't have a hood.
Yeah. But so when I ordered that, I asked them and they come back to me in a couple days and they're like, they said they'd do it. I was
I'll
like,
be damned.
okay,
Wonder how many were made.
I don't know.
Kind of a cool little number to know.
Yeah.
'Cause I've polished a lot of 389s and I've never seen a one piece.
Yep. That's got a one piece
Damn, that's cool.
windshield.
Huh.
I love that truck.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming down.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Rural Dispatch. I hope you found something valuable to take back to your own operation. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. You can keep up with me between episodes on socials at Barons & Co. or join our email list on our website to get new episodes delivered straight to your inbox every Wednesday. Until next time, keep those wheels turning. We'll talk soon. I want to share something we've recently started using, a new app called Beef Hub. It was built by cattle haulers for cattle haulers, and it's full of the info you actually want and need as a driver. They're constantly updating it with the most current details for the places that we go every day. If you're in this line of work, it's worth checking out. Use my referral code RURAL when you sign up and let us know what you think.